Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on the life insurance industry. If you've ever typed life insurance broker near me into a search bar and wondered how the whole process actually works, well, you're in the right place. We've got some fantastic expert notes to dig into today from Aaron Polk. He's a licensed agent and the founder of Golden Shield Life Insurance right in Atlanta, Georgia. Okay, let's jump right in and tackle the absolute biggest barrier that keeps people from protecting their families, the fear of the price tag. Seriously, when you think about getting covered, what's the very first number that pops into your head for a monthly premium? Is it like hundreds of dollars? Keep that number in mind because what we're about to show you might completely shock you. Because it turns out the reality is way different than you might think. According to the 2026 Insurance Barometer study by Limera and Life Happens, a massive 40% of Americans wildly overestimate the cost of a basic 20-year term policy. Think about that for a second. The insurance industry isn't exactly known for being super transparent, right? And because of that, almost half the country is walking around without a financial safety net just because they have this inflated number stuck in their head. The cost is so frequently misunderstood that it literally stops people from even starting an application.
To get you fully up to speed, here's our roadmap for today. We're going to break down the cost misconception, define exactly what a broker is, reveal the truth about underwriting, figure out how to calculate your coverage needs, and then wrap up with choosing Golden Shield Life.
So let's kick things off with Section 1, the cost misconception. The absolutely crucial thing to understand here is that a basic quote you get online, it's really just an educated guess. Why is that? Well, because life insurance pricing is intrinsically tied to risk, and every insurer uses their own specific standards and assumptions. Everything from your age, medical history, and medications to tobacco use, your build, family history, and even your occupation can drastically alter that final number. The exact same person can get wildly different premiums from different insurers. That is exactly why the lowest preliminary quote you see doesn't always become the lowest final offer. Which leads us perfectly into Section 2. What exactly is a broker? You know, there's a really stark contrast in your options when you're buying insurance. On one hand, you have a captive agent. They generally focus on products offered by just one insurance company or affiliated group. So if that one company's underwriting guidelines don't favor your specific medical history, you're pretty much out of luck. But on the flip side, an independent broker helps you compare available coverage from a broad marketplace of multiple life insurance companies. Ultimately, the practical question you always need to ask a professional is this: how many meaningful options can you actually help me evaluate? It's super important to understand that the broker handles all the heavy lifting before a decision is ever made. Now, they don't actually issue the policy. The insurance company or carrier does that, but a great broker is the one navigating that complex maze to find your perfect fit. They help you to find exactly why coverage is needed, estimate a death benefit, spot potential underwriting issues early on, grab those quotes, and most importantly, they review the final offer from the carrier with you. And the best part, you typically don't even pay a separate consultation fee for this, since brokers are generally compensated by the insurer when a policy is finally placed. All right, moving right along to Section 3, the truth about underwriting. Underwriting can sound intimidating, right? But it's really just the behind-the-scenes process where the insurer evaluates risk and sets your rate and terms. Once they review your application, the insurer might approve the rate exactly as they quoted it, or they might approve a different class, ask for more info, modify the offer, postpone it, or even decline coverage altogether. But here is an incredibly valuable takeaway from Aaron Polk's notes. Having a medical condition does not automatically determine your outcome. Insurers actively weigh the specific diagnosis, severity, treatment, stability, and follow-up care of your condition. And this is where a great broker really shines. They use this exact framework to compare insurers way beyond just the basic price tag. They're looking at underwriting guidelines because one company might look at your medical history way more favorably than another. They look at policy features like conversion privileges and living benefit riders, which are amazing, by the way, because they might let you use part of your benefit early if you have a qualifying illness. And crucially, they look at financial strength. Organizations like AM Best rate these insurers, and an A or A- rating means, in their opinion, the company has an excellent ability to meet its ongoing obligations. Because let's face it, you want a company that's actually going to be there when your family needs them most. Now, I'm sure you've seen those ads for no medical exam life insurance. Some insurers use accelerated underwriting, which is fantastic because it can drop the wait time from weeks down to literally a matter of hours for eligible applicants. But this quote right here from the National Association of Insurance Commissioners is vital to keep in mind. No exam does not mean no underwriting. Make no mistake, the carrier is still strictly evaluating your risk. They do this by looking at external data, like your prescription drug history, motor vehicle records, and sophisticated predictive model. Okay, let's head into Section 4, calculating your coverage needs. So while you can definitely use a standard acronym like the LIFE method, looking at liabilities, income, final expenses, and education, to estimate your overall death benefit, the expert notes reveal something far more critical once that number is actually set: designating your beneficiaries. You absolutely must use full legal names, name both primary and contingent beneficiaries, and remember to update them after major life events like a marriage, divorce, birth, or death. Also, and this is a big one, insurers generally will not pay directly to a minor child. That means a trust may be necessary to bypass probate and ensure your family seamlessly receives the funds they need. And finally, that brings us to Section 5, choosing Golden Shield Life. When you search for a life insurance broker near me, you really want a modern partner like Golden Shield Life Insurance. They operate right out of Atlanta at 1954 Airport Road, and they offer those fast, no-exam paths for applicants who qualify. And remember how we just talked about the need for trusts and legal documents for minors? While that's usually a separate legal step you have to figure out, Golden Shield actually includes complimentary value adds, like an online will preparation tool and a burial planning guide when your policy is placed. That is a huge bonus. But honestly, their ultimate multi-carrier advantage comes down to this one staggering number: 130. Golden Shield compares over 130 top-rated carriers side by side to find your best rate. This is huge because it ensures you aren't stuck trying to force a square peg into a round hole when it comes to your unique medical or financial profile. They do all the shopping, so you get the completely unbiased comparison you deserve. One quick pro tip before you ever apply for insurance: always remember to protect yourself by verifying your broker's licensing. You can easily do this through official state registries using their National Producer Number, or NPN. Aaron Polk and Golden Shield's NPN is 212-16745. They are fully licensed and verified. Trust and transparency should always be the foundation of your relationship with any broker you choose to work with. So there you have it. We've broken down the big cost myths, explored the massive leverage you get from using an independent broker, navigated the tricky waters of underwriting, and figured out exactly how to calculate your coverage needs. But it really begs a much bigger question to leave you with today. If 40% of the country is walking around completely overestimating the cost of their family's financial safety net, what other financial myths are holding us back from true peace of mind?